What's happening, Saints fans? Happy live show Wednesday to all of you. Shout out to Jerry G letting us know we're live. I appreciate you, brother. We also got William Morgan, Nola Black. We got Never Give Up, Tay, and Troy and Harry Batiste live with us, as well as over 40 other Saints fans already. So if you're in the live chat, get down in the comment section. Give me a hoot at. Welcome into Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. We go live once a week or anytime there's any big breaking news. On top of that, we provide daily videos. So if this is your first time hanging out with us, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Give us a like so that way YouTube recommends more of our content to you. And without further ado, let's get this live show rolling. Got Lopez on the ones and twos, riding shotgun with me. He is your favorite producer. He is my favorite producer. Shout out to Lopez for joining us once again.
I feel so welcome over here.
I know, dude. You're a fan favorite, man. After the free agency stuff, Saints fans kept clamoring. They were asking in the comments, they're like, dude, we need more Lopez. I'm itching for more Lopez. That's what they were saying.
Just feeds into my ego. I fucking love it.
The already very small ego for Nick Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite thing about Lopez is how humble he is. That's just, one great thing about him. I just got to say that. Lopez, you want to give some shout-outs, dude? You want to give some shout-outs? I don't think I've ever had you give some shout-outs on the show.
Because my reading is maybe at a 6th grade level.
All right, let's see it. Come on, 6th grader. Let's see it.
Okay, I'm going to scroll up so I get a little bit of time. Okay, I see Jerry, Nola Black, William Morgan, Jerry G again. Okay, I'm sounding like Tex already. Dalton Smith, Nigel, Earl, Felix, Football Fanatic, Seth, Kent, Praise, No Love Matt, Lil Ray, DS Curve.
Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us.
Going.
Nigel, good to see you in the chat, my friend. Praise YJ. Jalen Miller on a trade down to 20. Dart at 9 or Rattler QB1 and we good. Sad, but it's really anything but Carr. I will disagree with you on Dart at 9 or Jalen Miller at 20. I have zero interest in either of those quarterbacks in round 1. Round 2, we can have a conversation. Round 1, absolutely the frick not. I'd rather go get like a weapon or go get like a defensive lineman. Why would you go get a quarterback round 1?
And it's not even like
it's not even
a
Cam
great
Ward.
quarterback.
Yeah, like if you're gonna go get a quarterback in round 1, give me Cam Ward or Shador.
I don't even want Shador at 9.
I kind of feel like that's
I'm not that high.
I mean, I like Shador, but I'm also kind of in the camp of he kind of feels like he's falling down draft boards a lot recently, and if you play your cards right, you might be able to get him later.
I'd say, remember when he was supposed to be number 1? Then slowly fell to 3 to the Giants, and then
it was slowly to 5 to the 5-6 to the Raiders, and then to the Saints, and now he's all the way. I'm seeing him in the 20s now, and then even in round 2, it's insane. I don't know. I don't know if I believe all of that nonsense, but it'd be like that. We got Jerry G in the chat. We got Willie Gay. He signed a 1-year contract with the Miami Dolphins. Former Saints legend. He will be headed to South Beach. So that's the latest free agency news around the New Orleans Saints. Earl, good to see you, brother. Nigel, thank you for tuning in. He says for 9, get Ashton Jeanty, Ted McMillan, or Will Johnson. I think all those are great picks. I also like the idea of Tyler Warren. I mean, he's just a great talent. I think he's a phenomenal tight end. Could give you another weapon for Derek Carr and for whoever the quarterback of the future is.
Yeah, I think the fun picks would be Jeanty and Warren.
Yeah, or Ted. I love the idea.
I'm not super high on Ted.
Oh, I'm so high on Ted.
I'm not super high.
I'm so high on Ted, man, and I really want Ted, dude. I think and partially I think he's a great football player, but it's specifically the size profile for him. He fits exactly what the New Orleans Saints are missing, in my opinion. That's kind of why I'm so high on him, and I think he's a baller too. But I do know a lot of people may not think that he is as great as people are making him out to be. He's just the best wide receiver in maybe an underwhelming class, dare I say. I don't think it's a bad wide receiver class, but feel like there's been much better classes.
I will say the one thing about him, the 40-yard that he ran, what was it, yesterday, day before, that time surprised me. I thought it was going to be higher. What was 4.46?
Yeah, I think it was 4.46. It was very impressive.
So that helps the case a little bit in my eyes.
Yeah. Well, and I also think, he kind of gives me a Marcus Colston vibe. Big, lengthy, physical receiver. Except he's not out of Hofstra and he's not a
Michael Thomas? A sane
Dare
Michael Thomas?
Dare I say? Dare we say Michael Thomas? Are we allowed to say Michael Thomas on this show?
Is that a shadow banned word here?
Some people don't like it. Some people hate when we bring up the name Michael Thomas on the show.
Oh.
It's very weird. I mean, Michael Thomas.
I think he has to wear number 13 if we
Dude, I'll tell you this: if you draft Tet and you put him in 13, that would it would be hysterical. And also, I'm a big Mike Thomas fan. I love the guy to death. I'm a fan of what he did for the Saints. He just isn't what he used to be. I'll also add this: that Twitter crash out would be generational. I feel like there would be a good Twitter crash out with that. He's already very prone to those.
I don't know if does he
Or
hate
would
the
or would
Saints,
he be like,
or does
you
he
know,
hate Derek Carr? Is
or
the question.
yeah, actually that's probably a good point. He
feel
hates
like,
Derek Carr.
I feel like I've seen things where he's like, oh yeah, go Saints, like still who dat.
Yeah,
and
no,
shit.
I've
And then
seen
he's like,
that.
hey, fuck Derek Carr.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think I agree with you there. Also, can you turn the logo on for the L3? You're good. You're good. All righty, we do have another question for you. We've been talking a little bit about draft. We've been talking about positions in need. What positions did the Saints draft in round 1? Do we have that one?
We do, but I want to say in the script this one's supposed to be cut, but we do have a draft one I can scroll down to real quick.
Cool, you're good. I'd say that the script has that one in the March.
Maybe not. I guess.
Just go to the March Madness one, then you're good. Just go March Madness. You're good. All righty, March Madness is here. Let's go March Madness. We're going to talk March Madness. We're not talking Saints football anymore. We've been doing that. Who's your March Madness team? Who are you picking? Who are you rolling with, Lopez?
I haven't filled out any bracket yet.
Okay.
I think. Ooh. Florida has been looking good, but I'm not super hot. I don't think they deliver.
Dude, I go back and forth on whether or not I like Florida to win it because I think that they can, but I don't know, man.
I kind of feel the same way about Auburn. I'm like, okay, you were so dominant beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And now you lost 3 out of your last 5. I know they didn't really matter.
But I mean, it's also get those losses out of the way, kind of get the screws out of here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just get ready for the big dance because that's what really matters. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I picked Florida to win, but I go back and forth on whether or not I like that.
I think if I had to pick a team right now, Duke was very impressive, especially after losing Cooper Flagg. Still found a way.
That's my thing.
To win the ACC title.
I have Duke in Florida in my championship, and I'm like, keep going back and forth. I don't know what to do.
Like,
we'll have to see.
I think if I had to pick a team right now, it would probably be Duke.
Sick. John says Drake to the house. They're the Cinderella sleeper. That's a good one. Also, who's the team playing Michigan? It's like
UC San Diego.
Yeah, UC San Diego. That's one to keep an eye out for. Or our sweet princess at McNeese, who Will Wade, former LSU coach, he is now headed back to big boy basketball.
I miss when they had dick jokes in March Madness. I need Oral Roberts back. Oral Roberts, Long Beach. Who else?
Yeah.
There was I want to say it was either last year or 2 years ago. I was able to make a bracket.
There was 1 year. So Arkansas, a couple years ago, they played Colgate in round 1, Oral Roberts in round 2. And so we was like, oh, we're going on the teeth route. They were like dental hygiene route, which was kind of funny.
I was able to make a Final Four. I want to say it was either last year or 2 years ago with just straight dick jokes, but I forgot the other two.
Of course you did, Lopez. Of course. John Lebo likes McNeese. Isaiah saying the Saints. I don't know if the Saints can win March Madness. Honestly, I wouldn't even pick them to win March Madness. I wouldn't pick them anywhere. Anyone but Bama. Queen Courtney says not Bama. Florida is too good. Also, she sent me an email. Courtney, I will check that whenever I get off of the show. I will also tell you really quickly, I'm going to be joining the State of the Saint podcast tonight with TJ Jones. So if you guys enjoy his content, go check it out. I'm going to be joining his show tonight. I'm really excited about that. Him and I have been chopping it up a little bit, getting ready for it. I'm really pumped up to, talk with a fellow Saints content creator, another fellow fan, and a guy who I really respect and I think does a lot of great content. So if you guys want to support me and support him, I really highly encourage you, and I ask you to do such a thing. Now, let me ask you this question. Who's a player you want the Saints to draft? Who do you want the Saints to draft? Just give me a name. Just give me a name. Isaiah says, check my mocks, Trizzy. I'll check him out later. I saw that you sent me an email, brother. I don't have time to respond to every email I get because I get a lot of them. I saw you sent me like 4 of them. So I'll check those out later. Like I said, I'm going to be on the podcast, so I'll get back to you on those, Isaiah. I appreciate you sending me those, man. And also I appreciate you for always tuning into the spaces as well, bro. John saying draft Tet and trade up or tank for Manning. I think Manning goes in 27. I don't think he goes
stays 2 years
or 1 year. I don't think he goes after this next season.
Really?
I think he does one more. Coop and I have been talking, and he's convinced me to think that.
What would have to happen? Because if he has a solid year, he doesn't have to be great. He doesn't have to win the Heisman.
If he has a
good
great
year, he's first round.
If he has a great year, I think he goes. If he has a good year, I could see, and they get close to the Natty, and I could see him being like, all right, one more year unfinished business. Let's try to win it, and then go from maybe a 5th overall pick to the true number 1. Also depends on the quarterback class, like what other players are going to be going and stuff too. Like I could see him being like, I want to be the guy, or maybe not in terms of his person. I don't know. Point being, I could see him being wanted to go back and be a competitor.
Like if he decides to stay next year.
Also, there's not really any rush because he's making a lot of money.
Oh yeah, NIL.
There's no rush for him to leave.
NIL has kind of changed the way I kind of think about how people are going to stay. I'm like, okay.
I genuinely think he makes more money in NIL right now than I bet he would make more money in NIL if in 2026 or I guess in the following season than if he went after next season. So like I think if he did, then he would as like a rookie. Like I mean he's going to make so much money in NIL. It's absurd, and another year of getting to be in NCAA, which is
and not having to play for a shitty organization.
Yeah, and also you get to stay in college, which like college is so fun.
Oh, if that was I'd still be in college.
If I had a choice, I would too.
I should have went for my doctorate.
Dude, when it got down to the nitty gritty, I really was like, man, do I run it around, do a victory lap and get a master's? But I was so done with school by the time that I got to graduation. I was like, I don't think I have another like year's worth of like homework and tests and stuff. I've got it.
That is like the one.
That's like because it's
so
all.
far.
It also just gets hard, like not harder, but it's like more intensive work. It's like longer essays and all that stuff. I'm like, I'm not built for that, man. I'm gonna get my degree. Maybe I'll later go back and get a master's at some point, but not yet, man. I was like, I want to get out and start working. I'm ready to start making money.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that to happen.
I couldn't do anymore. That's like the one perk of being an adult now.
Yeah.
When I go home, I don't have homework. I have my nights.
I will say one thing that sucks. My little brother right now is on spring break, and he is in Miramar Beach in Florida. So I'm like, and he's sending me pictures. He sent me one today of him at like 11 o'clock or 10:30 already on the beach with a drink. And I was like, he's like, have fun at work today. And I was like, you're such a great.
Should have been like, hey, fuck you.
I was like, you're just so great. Thank you for that, man. I really appreciate you. Alrighty, we've been beep-bopping around. How many likes can we pick up in the next 90 seconds or the next 2 minutes? I want to see how many likes we can pick up in 2 minutes. We got 75 people rocking and rolling with us. Can we get to 60 likes? Can we get to 60 likes? That's the goal here. If you're watching on TV, just take your remote, scroll up, and then if you scroll up one more time, you'll be able to click over to the thumbs up icon and click that. Not many YouTubers know that. I do, so do that. Also, if you're watching on your phone or on your laptop, just tickle that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 60 likes. We're at 80 people watching. The more likes we get, the more people hang out with us. Come on. It's a like spike. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Can we get to 60 likes? Let's get to 60. We have to at least get to 50. That is at least the bare minimum. We need 8 more. 8 more likes to get to 50. Come on. I need 5 more. Who's got my back? Who's got my back? Who's going to help your boy out? Who's a real one? Who is a real one? Like the dang video if you're a real one. Fake fans, stay silent. If you're a real fan, hit the thumbs up icon. We're at 52. We're going to push for 60. We're going to make one big push. We're going to make one big push. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. I believe in y'all. Let's go.
1 like for the rest of your lives.
One more like for the rest of your lives. Let's go. Saints Prod did it. D the Gorillionaire did it. BCB says he did it. Isaiah, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. No Love Matt, he's got my back. If you like the video, let me know, brother. Let me know. JT already getting the super chats flowing. Come on, homies. We're 1 like away. We're 1 like away. Bam! We just hammered it.
Can we hit 69?
We're 4 likes away from 69.
Come on.
Lopez wants us to get to 69.
69.
Ian Kelly is tuning in from Ireland. Brother, if you're homies with Charlie Smith, let me know, dude. I'm trying to get him on the show. Would love to get him for an interview. But Ian, thank you for tuning in, my friend. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a great St. Patty's and all that good stuff. Jeremy liked it. No Love liked it. Ken liked it. Sandra, 2 more. 2 more and we can get the content going. 2 more and we can get the content going. JT saying, where's the drinks, Trizzy? Right now I got water here. I'll tell you what. If we get a $20 super chat, I'll shotgun a beer before we get rolling. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? Johnny M is tuning in from Oklahoma. Let me know where you're watching from. $20 super chat and we do a shotgun? What do you think, Lopez?
You're really twisting my arm.
I mean, what do you think?
Fuck. I'm in.
Okay. If we get 120, I'll do it. If we get 220s, Lopez is in on it too. That's the deal. You guys have. I'll give you 90 seconds to do a super chat if we want to do that. we do have content we got to get to, so we want to be able to break that down as well. We've been live for 15 minutes, so we got content we want to talk about. However, if you guys want us to party, you guys want us to drink, we're Saints fans. That's what we're going to do first. You got 90 seconds to get in a $20 super chat, and we'll do one. When is Cam Jordan going to come on the show? I'm working on that, Isaiah. I've been DMing him. I've been trying to tweet him. Been trying to hop on. If you take to Twitter and start tweeting him with me, man, it'll make the cause go a lot quicker. It'll really help us out trying to get some Saints legends on the show. I want to get him. I want to get AK. I would love to get Taysom Hill, too. That'd be cool. Rashid Shaheed, that's my guy. Chris Olave, obviously, is sick, but I know some of those guys are really hard to get on interviews because they're just so busy, and they're busy guys. They're NFL players. Sandra, straight up New Orleans. V. Griffin, Louisiana. When's Gail Benson getting on the show? I don't think she would ever come on the show. I don't think Gail Benson would ever want to come on the show.
What if we get Mickey Loomis?
Mickey Loomis probably would go on the Falcons channel before he comes on this one.
I was about to say,
I've said some not very nice things.
We might
about
have to
Mickey
censor
Loomis.
the chat. And
Yeah, I've said some not nice things about Mickey Loomis on this show. But I meant them. I will not take back what I said. I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. Alrighty, 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. Are we going to get a 20 or nah? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And alrighty, let's get into the content. Let's have some fun. We got 2 mock drafts that we're going to dive into. Daniel Jeremiah as well as Mel Kiper, ESPN and NFL Network. 2 mock drafts, 2 pretty big names, well-respected at draft analysts. We're going to dive on into it. I'm going to fix this really quick, Lopez. That's a little long. That's on me. Is that on read only?
Yeah, because I had to mess with it already.
Okay. Can you just change it to take out we're looking at? Just 2 new mock drafts from ESPN's. Yeah, try that. If you could. Yep. Be jamming wants 100 likes. We're 25 away. That'd be sick. We're making one quick change here, and then we're going to get into it. Sorry, fellas. It's on me. I didn't fix the graphic before we got going. You just moved the Daniel Jeremiah. We're chilling. Yep. Hell yeah. Lopez. Everyone show love to Lopez because he's making things happen. Just fix the. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Sandra, we're at 75. Heck yeah. Good stuff, guys. Appreciate y'all. All righty. We're going to dive on in. We got some mock drafts to discuss. Make sure your mic is muted, and then we're chilling. Cool. All righty. Saints fans, y'all ready to break it down? Let's dive on in 1 second. Make sure I have my script pulled up here. This is bad radio, but now we're good to go. Yeah, it's ain't radio. It's YouTube. What's happening, Saints fans? Welcome into another edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I am your host, Trace Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning in, no matter where you are or how you're watching. We always appreciate the Houdat Nation for making us a part of their day. In today's show, we got a double dose of mock drafts. We got some major draft rumors coming out from ESPN's Mel Kiper and NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah, 2 NFL draft analysts. Mel Kiper, some people respect him, some people don't, but he is a guy who is in the mock draft game, and we're going to dive into what he had for the Saints first. We're going to revisit the recent mock drafts that he's had. The first one, he had Will Johnson taking a cornerback. Second, they had Tyler Warren at tight end. The third one, we're going to reveal that here in just one moment. I don't know if you're going to like it. I don't know if you're going to hate it, but it's going to be very intriguing nonetheless. Really quick, let's get an update on our 2025 sub battle. We're still winning. We started off slow. We picked up some steam, and now we're on top of the NFC South sub battle here at Chat Sports, but let's keep piling on. Can we get 70 subscribers on this video? Make this number 2,800. That would be absolutely electric. Let's bury the Falcons today, channel. Hit that sub button if you're a diehard Saint fan. What am I talking about? Today's mock drafts. ESPN Mel Kiper, the first pick that he had him take. It's one round draft. So we'll go Mel Kiper, and then we'll talk to Daniel Jeremiah later. Jaxson Dart, the quarterback out of Ole Miss. And first things first, I just got to say that is interesting to say the least. Feels a little rich at number 9 overall, but let's see Mel defend himself here. Here's a surprise pick. And I know the Saints just restructured Derek Carr's contract to tie him to the team for at least one more season. But what happens after that season? New coach Kellen Moore might want a young quarterback to work with and develop over the course of 2025, before turning the offense over to him in 2026. I'm hearing more and more first-round buzz on Dart, and New Orleans seems like a good fit. He wouldn't be forced to play right now and could learn behind Derek Carr. This team still has a lot of roster-building decisions to make, but getting the quarterback of the future now does make some sense. I just feel like Dart at 9 is just way too early. I feel like you can get him in round 2. Like, I don't know why there's this urge every single year for making quarterbacks who aren't top prospects seem to be top prospects. I mean, I'm old enough to remember just a couple of years ago when Mel Kiper was saying that Malik Willis would go number 1, number 2, number 3. Like, no, that's not going to happen. It just, like, I don't hate Jaxson Dart as a player. I like him as a prospect. I think that he would be a good fit, and I think that he brought up some good points, though. In the sense of Derek Carr is restructured, he's here for a year. That is 100% true. The fact that there isn't a succession plan in place, that is also true. We haven't seen enough from Spencer Rattler. Maybe that's not, I said Clint Kubiak. Maybe that's not Kellen Moore's guy. So we'll have to see what happens here. But I do think Rattler does have something to at least work for, and he at least has something that you can try and develop. He has some skills, but we'll have to see what happens. Either way, there is realistically no ties from Kellen Moore to Spencer Rattler or Derek Carr outside of the financial ties to Carr, because Kellen Moore is not the guy who drafted Spencer Rattler. Clint Kubiak and Dennis Allen did. So we'll have to see what happens in terms of the quarterback. But really quick, I want to hear you guys grade the pick. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I mean, I would probably say a C-. I like the only reason it's not a D or F is because I do like Jaxson Dart as a prospect. We're going to dive into some analytics, and we're going to dive into some I almost said tape. The draft profile. We're going to dive into his draft profile here in a moment. Grade the pick, though. I do think he's a good player. I don't like it at number 9, though, so get in the comment section. Jaxson Dart, last season, he was very, very efficient for Ole Miss. He was a big reason why they were so successful. And, you know, he's a guy who does have the ability to beat you in the air, but he also has an underrated ability on the ground as a rusher. And one thing about Jaxson Dart I like is the development year over year. He improved each season throughout his college football career, and Lane Kiffin did some really good things with him, and I think that Lane Kiffin is a good college football coach, and I think that Jaxson Dart is a good football player. I'm just going to keep going back to this. I like Jaxson Dart. I really do, and I would not be upset if the Saints ended up taking him. He's a big quarterback. He does have mobility, and he does have the ability to run, but I just don't like it at number 9 overall. And, you know, I was just really puzzled because on the board at number 9, Ted McMillan was there, and he fell to number 20 overall. Like, I just don't think that makes any sense. I think that that's a player that the New Orleans Saints would end up taking, at least if I was in the draft room. I feel like that's a bigger position of need, and it's, you know, the guy who's going to make an impact right away because the Saints are operating to win now. I will say this, when it comes to Kellen Moore, if he wants his guy, Mickey Loomis is going to find a way to get him his guy. If Kellen Moore wants Cam Moore, I don't think that's really in the cards. Mickey Loomis might try and find a way. If Shador's the guy, they're going to find a way. Jaxson Dart's the guy, they're going to find a way. Jalen Milroe, they're going to find a way. Tyler Shuck, they're going to find a way. Doesn't matter who it is. If Kellen Moore wants his guy, they're going to find a way to make it happen. And I will give credit to Mickey Loomis. He is a GM who is an aggressive GM in terms of pursuing trades, overspending, and over-offering on trades. But, you know, if they want their guy, they're going to go and get him. And that's the truth. Now, we're going to show you some clips from the NFL Combine. Jaxson Dart described what it was like playing for Lane Kiffin, and I want you to listen to it because a lot of the things around what Jaxson Dart is saying is very interesting in terms of how Kellen Moore might be able to have an impact on Jaxson Dart. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, Coach Kiff was great. Not only was he a great coach on the field, but I could say he's one of my best friends off the field. So I knew what I was going into with him, and the quarterbacks that he's coached at a really high level, and a lot of them had different skill sets. So him being able to form an offense and build it around their strengths was something that was big for me going into it, and he was great for my development.
So one thing that really stuck out to me about that was the fact that he said that, you know, other quarterbacks that Coach Kiffin has, worked with had different skill sets, and he was able to find a way to play into Jaxson Dart's strengths. Kiffin was able to build his offense around Jaxson Dart to the strength of his players on the receiving corps and in the running back room. And, if you ask me, that sounds very similar to what we hear about Kellen Moore from his former players, from other coaches he's worked with. And that's kind of what the big hype has been around him is he can work with the talent he has and he can maximize that talent and he knows how to work with them. So, I'm just going to go back to it. The question that lies is, who is Kellen Moore's guy? Is it Jaxson Dart? Because if it is, maybe at number 9 overall, that is the pick that is made. But if it's not, and he's like, you know what, I'm willing to wait. I like somebody maybe next year in the draft, or maybe there's a free agent or a trade target we can go out and get later on. That's who I want. That's also an option as well. So if Kellen Moore wants his guy, they're going to go and get his guy because Derek Carr is obviously not Kellen Moore's long-term option. So I want you to answer this question for me. There's a lot of positions in need for the New Orleans Saints. What do you think is the biggest one? Who should they draft in round 1? What position is more so what I'm asking? I want you to sound off in the comment section. And, if you do have a very passionate take, let me know exactly who you want that to be. Now, coming up, we're going to get into Daniel Jeremiah's selection for round 1 of the New Orleans Saints 2025 NFL Mock Draft. Obviously, Mel Kiper's pick, very intriguing. We'll see what NFL Network had to say here in just a moment. Give you a hint. It's an SEC player on the defensive side of the ball. Really quick, if you want to get a Saints jersey for this season or Darty season or wearing around New Orleans, get yours right now. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. The link is in the comments and description of this video. They're Nike jerseys. They're 100% authentic. They're very, very nice quality stuff. So if you want to get yours, use the link in the comments and description. You got former players, you got current players, and then soon we'll have future players on there as well for the picks that were made in this draft, as well as the free agency additions like Justin Reed and Devon Godchaux. So if you want to get your new jersey, chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. Hit the link in the comments description of this video. All shapes, all sizes, all colors. Get yours today. Daniel Jeremiah had the New Orleans Saints select Jihaad Campbell, the linebacker out of Alabama. And look, it's the same thing with Jaxson Dart. I don't dislike him as a player. I think that he is a phenomenal football player. I think that he is a really good football player. That being said, I think that number 9 is a little rich. So here's what Daniel Jeremiah had to say. Jihaad Campbell has the versatility to be a major weapon for a creative defensive coordinator like Brandon Staley. And I'll say this. I think that he could be very effective with Jihaad Campbell. I like the option of Brandon Staley getting another great linebacker. I think linebacker is an underrated need for the New Orleans Saints. But I think that the Saints need to get not only a young player, but I also think that they could benefit from having a guy who's still, not an old veteran, but a guy who has some experience, a guy who has some run. And this doesn't mean Jihaad Campbell's a bad player. The production he had in terms of coverage was pretty solid. He allowed 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 pass breakups, and an interception. And on top of that, he was really, really impactful for Alabama, logging over 100 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and of course 1 fumble recovery in 13 games played. So, the good with Jihaad Campbell, he led Alabama in tackles for loss, sacks, and forced fumbles. Those are really good metrics. Those are important metrics, especially for a linebacker. I love the fact that he produced highly in those categories. Also, he has over 30 coverage stops, and if you don't know what that means, that is a PFF stat defined as an offensive gain on a play that is kept to less than 40% of the line to gain on first down, less than 50% on second down, and without a first down or touchdown on third or fourth down. So 30 coverage stops, most in the NCAA, really good stuff there. And then a very impressive 5.9 missed tackle rate. I feel like tackling has been a problem for the Saints over the past couple seasons, especially when it comes to stopping the run and tackling guys in open space. And he's also a freaky athlete. Look at his relative athletic score. Shout out to Jihaad Campbell. He absolutely showed out. His 40-yard dash, very impressive. A relative athletic score of almost 10. That's damn near perfect. 9.87 is very, very impressive. And, the athleticism is clearly there. The production is clearly there. But if we also want to take a look at a comparison in the National Football League now, he is a very similar size profile to Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers in the National Football League. The height, damn near the same. The weight, 1 pound off. The arm length, Jihaad Campbell's actually got more. And he was a little bit faster, actually almost over a whole 0.1 second, tenth of a second faster than Fred Warner. So, I will say this. Jihaad Campbell is a top linebacker in this class. There's no question about it. But again, It just feels early for number 9. Linebacker is not the biggest need for the New Orleans Saints. It's an underrated need, but it's not the biggest need. And when you have a top 10 selection, and you have prime draft capital, you have over 4 picks in the top 100, the top 150. You can do some damage when it comes to making selections. You actually have 4 in the top 100. Yeah, you have 2 third-round picks and 2 fourth-round picks. You have a lot of selections to make some good impact players and bring those guys in. Let's just go back to what was on the board. Again, Ted McMillan was there. Why would you pass up on him for Jahad Campbell? I don't hate Jahad Campbell as a player or a prospect. I love that player. I love that selection. If it was like trade back and get him at 20 or something, I would absolutely love that. But when you have all of these guys here, I think all of these would be a better pick for the New Orleans Saints. Will Johnson, the best cornerback, I said outside linebacker. The best outside cornerback in the draft. Will Campbell, the best offensive tackle. Ted McMillan, the number 1 wide receiver and the number 1 tight end. Arguably one of the best offensive weapons were on the board for the New Orleans Saints. I mean, I just still go back to I would have taken Ted, maybe Tyler Warren in this situation, but probably Ted McMillan. So, I didn't love these mock drafts, but if you had to pick one of these, which one would you go with? Jaxson Dart or Jahad Campbell? Just type their initials in the comment section. Personally, I don't know what I would do, Lopez. Maybe I would go Jaxson Dart just to justify it as him being his guy and whatnot, and it's quarterback, top 10 pick. And, in a few years, if he turns out to be a stud, then nobody's really going to say a word about that selection. But I just think that this is a really tough set of mock drafts for the Saints. And final thoughts. I keep saying this, and my stance won't change until a move is made to change that stance. I want to address the offense in round 1. Specifically, I'd like to add an offensive weapon. Sure, offensive lineman sounds great, but I would really like to add a wide receiver or a tight end like Tyler Warren, specifically Tyler Warren, or maybe an Ashton Jeanty. I just want to raise the overall skill level of the Saints offense and address the other needs in round 2, round 3, round 4. You have so many selections in those 3 rounds and in those 4 rounds to really add to the roster and add some talent to build around for the long-term future. I just think when you have a lot of high-end talent on the board, and it could fall the way where you have your option of Ted McMillan, Ashton Jeanty, and Tyler Warren, you get to your pick of the litter, and I just think that that's the best way to go for the New Orleans Saints. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Do you like my takes? Do you disagree with my takes? Do you enjoy the content? Give us some feedback down below, and do not forget to subscribe. As always, we appreciate the Who Dat Nation for tuning in. Almost a 15-minute video. We got you 2 draft pieces of content in less than 15 minutes, so I think it's a reason to subscribe. We appreciate you, Who Dat Nation. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Booyah! All righty. We're going to have a mailbag coming up here soon. If you would like to get on the show, use hashtag Saints or Super Chat.
Yeah, we forgot to feature that one
when
we were talking earlier, so let's start getting those questions in.
Yeah, let's get them in. Mont Dog, dude, did you see that? No way you drafted tight end at number 9, LOL. Well, I'll tell you this. Tyler Warren's more than a tight end. He is just an overall offensive weapon. And I think that he is.
What was Brock Bowers drafted? I know he wasn't 9, but I'll take that production top 5 in the draft.
Right before the Saints. He was 13. Number 13 overall, and he had 1,000 yards. If we get 1,000 yards from Tyler Warren, I guarantee you, Mont Dog, you will be celebrating it. You will not be sitting here saying that was a bad pick. You'd have to give good production for what it's worth. Like, you would have to have good statistics, but
yeah.
I mean, I just think that Tyler Warren is a player that's 100% worth it.
Yeah, he can elevate any offense.
Yeah.
With just the versatility that he has.
Exactly, and he's just such a damn good football player.
Yeah.
Atlanta said the same thing about Kyle Pitts. Yeah, well, Kyle Pitts is not nearly as good of a player as Tyler Warren.
Kyle Pitts was a freak athlete that everyone bought into, and really worked out.
If we're going to compare the standard of being of good and bad decisions to the Atlanta Falcons, that's just silly. Of course, they're going to make bad decisions. Yeah, of course they're going to make bad decisions. It worked out well for the Raiders, I'll tell you that much. Last time there was a tight end drafted in round 1, it seemed to be a good idea. So I'm not. When you're a team like the Saints and you have a bunch of needs, you got to just address needs, and you also have to just add to the talent level. And Tyler Warren adds.
Kyle Pitts may have hurt the tight end first round narrative, but Brock Bowers picked it back up.
Kyle
Pitts hurt the tight end in a first round narrative.
Yeah,
Brock Bowers
put it back up.
He repaired.
That's 100% true. Julian Martin knows ball. Arkansas wide receiver Andrew Armstrong in round 2 or 3. I would actually go with him like round 3 or 4, not 2. I feel like that's a little early for him.
He's just trying to kiss your ass.
I know. I love Andrew Armstrong, though. Saints have shown interest. They're trying to get a meeting with him. There's a report out there about it. I would love to see that. He's a dog. All righty. We do have a couple super chats. Duke has a question. No love, Matt. Are y'all cool if we save these for the mailbag? Duke, are you? Because I will tell you this. Our next segment is all about what we should do with the $30 million and how we got $30 million in cap space. So if you want to, we can dive into that. And, yeah. We can. I mean, I'll actually address your super chat in great depth and great detail here in the next content. So if you don't mind, Duke, could I just save your super chat for the mailbag? Same with No Love Matt. I think that's
because they're good questions.
Yeah, they're great questions, and we don't want to like burn them yet. We want to be able to use them.
I want to keep you on the edge of your seat.
No Love Matt says that's good with me. Okay, cool. B. Jammin says too many people sleeping on Trey Harris. I'm a big fan of Trey Harris. He's also a Louisiana guy, so that'd be cool to bring him home. I've taken Trey Harris in the second round of like multiple of my mock drafts. My last one, he wasn't there. Who did I take round 2? Oh, I took the corner out of ECU.
Siobhan Rebel.
Yeah, Siobhan Rebel. He's a stud. He's going to be a stud. An artist says, I'd go Kyle McCord in round 4 or 5. Well, the problem with that, you don't have a 5th round pick. I would rather the big receiver. Mont Dog, so Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins, Tet McMillan, those Jack Besh, those are probably your 4 guys that you would want. And those are the guys I also want. Like, I don't want an Emeka Egbuka. I would be okay with a Luther Burden, not at 9, but I'd be okay with a Luther Burden. He's a slot specialist. I think that could be really, really good for the Saints. I mean, we saw what Ladd McConkey did last year. He had over 1,000 yards as a rookie. Like, something about having a slot receiver, it's nice.
Turns out it works.
And I also think that Luther Burden is a freaky good football player. I'm a big fan of his.
Get him in open space.
Yes.
He is dangerous.
Yeah, Savion Williams too. That's a good one too, Isaiah. That's a good one too. All righty. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about some free agency / salary cap / team news and updates because a lot of things have happened. We haven't really had the chance to talk about it. Sorry, I had to pop my neck before we keep this thing rolling. What up, Sammy? If anyone had Jameis Winston, Mason Rudolph, Carson Wentz instead of Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, or Aaron Rodgers offseason, fill out a bracket. That's funny. All righty. We're going to dive on in. Sam, not acting like a witch with a bee. Noticeably not acting like one. You know? Glad you could turn the corner, bro. All righty. You're good. You're good. Do we have 2 of the breaking out 3s?
No, we only had 1.
Okay, cool. You're good. You're good. Sweet. Yeah, you're chilling. Did you put that one down though? Okay, cool. And then turn off the regular L3. Do you want me to fix it real quick? I can fix it in the sheet. Thanks, Maddie. Appreciate it. You're good. Jerry, you're all good. Duke, do we owe Loomis an apology? Time will tell. I don't think so yet, but time will tell. Mont Dog, Derek Carr will be the damn general manager eventually at this point. If we keep restructuring contract. That's pretty funny. Mont Dog. Perfect. That's really funny, Mont Dog. That is really funny comment. I can't stand the Raiders in my mock draft. They always taking my players I want. Yeah, dude, the Raiders are like the Saints. Got a lot of needs. Fortunately, they made a move for a quarterback, and we did not do anything with ours. What? Oh, really? Good stuff. Tristan Keys. Wide receiver U? LSU is wide receiver U. LSU is wide receiver U. No, like Ohio State likes to say they are. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's LSU. QBU. Yeah, I mean, especially in the recent history with Joey B, Jaden Daniels. Nuss, and then there's not a. So is there any other LSU quarterbacks? There's no other ones in the league? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Still pretty good. Yeah, still pretty good. Still pretty good. All righty, let's get into it. We're going to dive into some salary cap, NFL, New Orleans Saints news, all that good stuff here in just one moment. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of fun. And, yeah, we escaped the cap hell, guys. Said we couldn't do it, but we did. Cool. Sweet. Tushy for this one as well. Sweet. Whenever you're ready. What's going on, Saints fans? We got some amazing news. The master plan might be coming together for the New Orleans Saints. They're not broke. They got money to spend. Not only do they have money to spend, they got a lot of money to spend. They're in the top half of the National Football League in terms of available cap space. So I just got to say, first things first, shout out to Kai Harley. I'm not going to give a shout out to Mickey Loomis. Shout out to Kai Harley for once again getting us out of cap hell, for making the New Orleans Saints have money to spend. You got $31.9 million roughly in available cap space to spend, whether it's this offseason, whether it's next year, whether it's close to the trade deadline. So, it brings up the question, could a big move be on the horizon? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Could happen. Who knows? I will tell you this, there's not a lot of great options in terms of free agency, not a lot of very valuable names that'll sign big time right now. And honestly, some of the guys that are still out there, if they wait long enough until after the draft, they'll be pretty cheap when it comes to signing free agents late in the offseason. And, you also have to have some money to sign your rookie class. You don't need a ton, but you have to have some. And also on top of that, maybe something around Derek Carr. Maybe something around his contract. Who knows? We'll have to see. But if you're just pumped up that the Saints have some money to spend, if you're just happy that they're not a broke team, hit the thumbs up icon, like this video. They got the 15th most cap space in the league. They were at one point dead last. We beat the case. We are not in cap hell once again. We got money to spend. So hit the thumbs up icon and like this video if you're pumped up that the Saints can spend some money. All righty, Devon Godshaw, he was a big part of the cap savings here. He took a slight pay cut as part of the trade from New England. This is one of the more recent cap updates around the Saints in terms of how they cleared up this money and how they got to $30 million in terms of spending. We've broken it down before, but this is kind of the most updated moves and stuff. He was originally due $13.5 million over the course of 2 seasons, but now he gets $11 million over the course of 2 seasons. 7.45 of that is guaranteed. I do think that this is a good move for the Saints. I also got to say shout out to Devon Godshaw for being able to take some of that money off of it. So in terms of the cap hits, it's going to be $1.94 million in 2025, a very, very minimal cap hit, just over the vet minimum. And then in next year, $7.13 million, so a little bit higher in terms of the cost for Devon Godshaw. But he is a productive run stopper, and I think he's going to add a lot to the Saints defense. As long as he performs, I think it's a good contract, and still got some good years left in him. 2027 to 2030 will be void years, but that's the latest updates. Also, before we keep moving, I want to say shout out to Catherine Terrell for explaining a lot of this. I'm not great with the cap numbers. I am just relaying a lot of information that she provided and then just kind of giving my take on what I think about it. So I want to just say shout out to her for diving into this, all the numbers and all that stuff, because I'm just not a cap guru unlike some of these people who are just nerds when it comes to. I'm just not good with that stuff. Shout out to Catherine Terrell. She's a genius. Cap savings number 2, Cedric Wilson. He agreed to a pay cut. If you remember the New Orleans Saints, they signed him last year in free agency to a multi-year deal. He is in the final year of his contract. He was supposed to make $2.9 million this year. Now he is making $1.17 million. But worth noting, less than $500,000 of that is guaranteed this year. So the Saints end up saving this season almost $2 million in cap space. And I'll tell you what, this less than $500,000 in savings is worth noting because the Saints could decide to move on from Cedric Wilson after training camp. And it really wouldn't cost them all that much money if they have better options. So if, like, the Saints go and draft a Ted McMillan and they sign a Keenan Allen, like, you're not going to need Cedric Wilson on the roster. He's just going to be taking up space. And honestly, he's going to be at the bottom of the depth chart because I do have faith in some of the other guys on the roster. And it's nothing against Cedric Wilson, but he's an older guy. He's, not making all that much money. And if you can cut him and free that space up for a young guy who has some promise, then I think that's definitely a route worth going. Now, coming up, we got more cap savings. We got more moves that the Saints have made, and then just more of my takes, more of my thoughts, and more of my analysis around this whole situation. I'm just pumped up that the Saints aren't broke, and you know what? I'll tell you what. You're going to be pumped up when you check out today's sponsor, and that is Tushy Bidets. And fellas, March Madness, it is right around the corner. It's about to start. Who'd you guys pick to win it all? I don't know who I'm picking, but I can tell you what I am picking. I'm picking a Tushy Bidet up from their website. If you use our link, hellotushy.com/chat, then you will be able to get yourself a Tushy. March Madness is a sacred time of yelling at the TV while deleting beers and throwing down some grub with the fellas. And there's no doubt your bracket is going to bust this month, but that doesn't mean your butthole has to as well. Or as Tushy's brand new electric bidet with an auto open lid and seat, instant warm water that never runs cold, and UV sterilization for next level hygiene. Or by Tushy easily attaches to your existing toilet seat without the need for additional plumbing. It's so easy. It takes less than 10 minutes. Literally anyone can do it, including a Buccaneers fan. It's easy to install, but so much easier to use. You sit down, you cleanse yourself, dry using the built-in air dryer. That's right, cleaning yourself after using the bathroom is now hands-free. And you can also save some money on toilet paper and keep that hiney shiny. Reclaim your comfort zone in the bathroom. For a limited time, our listeners at Saints Now by Chat Sports get 10% off their first bidet order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code CHAT. You can use the link in the comments and description of this video. It is available for all of you. Support the show and support your hiney. Keep it shiny with a Tushy. All right, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling. More cap savings. Tyrann Mathieu, it came out in terms of his cap numbers. The new number is down to $6 million. It was at 11.3. I think that Tyrann Mathieu is an absolute legend for this. I'm a big fan of his, and I think that he is still a player who can benefit the Saints defense. And I really like teaming him up and pairing him back with Justin Reed. It also feels like it's a good way to usher in the new era, kind of end this era of the Tyrann Mathieu, the Cam Jordan, Taysom Hill, like all those legends. You can end that on a good note and usher in the new era, but you still can pay homage and pay respect to these guys who deserve the money, who deserve the chance to retire for the city they love. And the fact that they're taking less money just to stick around, I think that's really, really good stuff. And just a testament to what this city means and what the team means and to them and what they mean to the city. So more cap savings. We got Cam Jordan next. His number is now down to less than $10 million. It was at 20.06. It was a very expensive contract, and also it was one of the highest cap hits on the roster. The Saints opted to bring Cam Jordan back. There was chatter of maybe they try to move on from him. Maybe they, decide to restructure. Maybe he takes a pay cut. Maybe he retires. But, I will say with Cam Jordan, he is a football player who I really, really respect and I really like. And honestly, with the matchup of the pairing of Bo Davis and Brandon Staley and the defensive coaching staff, I think that everyone benefits, including Cam Jordan. And in terms of how the contract shakes out, a lot in terms of incentives. So some of that in terms of the sacks, some of that in terms of play time. You can see the base salary, you can see the signing bonus. Just got to say again, credit to Catherine Terrell of ESPN. She does a lot of great stuff. I highly encourage you to follow her on social media. She shared all of this stuff. I just wanted to give her more credit and make sure that I did my respects and made sure I showed her some love. But, really good information here. I'll kind of step away, let you take a look at it. All right, let's keep it moving. Juwan Johnson. So he ended up actually saving the Saints money despite signing a 3-year, $30 million contract. In case you didn't know, he was going to make $6.5 million this season if his contract voided because he was a free agent. And with the Saints, they decided to bring him back on what was originally a contract a lot of people hated. He's a great story in terms of him and his wife and having a baby, and in terms of him becoming a football player in the National Football League and transferring around in college and changing positions from wide receiver to tight end. I mean, it's a really, really good story, and he's a player who deserves this money, and he has earned the cash. But, this cap hit is actually so much better than what was initially believed. It's only going to cost you $5.24 million. It's less than what it was originally going to cost you if you let him leave. And, of course, you got over $20 million guaranteed. But I think that if Juwan Johnson puts up really good numbers, That's a great contract. It's a steal of a contract. And I think that Kellen Moore's scheme might really benefit a guy like Juwan Johnson. He even acknowledged the fact that he has a problem coming on late into the seasons and being a little bit inconsistent, and he wants to address that and he wants to fix it. Had a lot of good things to say in an interview with Aaron Summers that the Saints posted on their YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, check it out after this video. Alrighty, still to come. We still haven't seen any changes to Taysom Hill's contract. So the $30 million you have in terms of money to spend, you could see more of that come and be available. They haven't done anything in terms of a pay cut. They haven't done anything in terms of a restructure. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. I do think with Taysom Hill, he should and likely will take a pay cut because he's just making way too much money this year. So we could have more money to spend. It's crazy to think that we could have up to $40 million to potentially spend this season or roll it over to next season. So, coming up, we're going to also discuss what could the Saints do with the money. We've talked about how they got to this money. We talked about, my opinions on how they got to this money. I want to ask you this question, though. What should the Saints do with their money? Should they save it? Should they spend it? Should they roll it over to next year? Should they give a bunch of new money to guys on the roster? What should they do? Should they go and make a trade? Are they loading up for something big? Let me know in the comments. Maybe Derek Carr move? Who knows? I don't really know what's going to happen here. I do know this. The Saints can either decide to save or spend it. They don't have to do anything with their money. They don't want to. If the Saints have some free agents they want to go sign, they have the money to go do that now. And they have the money to be competitive in terms of offers. We know that they were interested in Charvarius Ward and they missed out. We know they were interested in Cooper Kupp and they got outbid. That being said, if the Saints want to add to the roster, they can. And they still have to add players to fill out the roster. They don't even have 70 guys on the depth chart right now, and you're going to have to add to that through the draft and through the undrafted free agent class and whatnot, and late waves of free agency. In terms of 2026, the Saints do have $16.2 million in cap space. That's not a lot to spend, but they are in the positive. So they could take some of this money. Let's say they spend about $7-8 million on the rookie class, and then you sign one or two more players. Let's just call it, for the sake of it, $15 million. You can roll some of that over and have even more money to spend in 2026. Saints historically don't do that all that often, but I think that this is a year that actually makes some sense to do, because on top of that, you can also make the cap hit of moving on from Derek Carr next year a little bit easier to manage. Now, I'm not sure that there are any big trades out there. That doesn't mean one won't come to fruition. That doesn't mean one won't happen. Trading Derek Carr is an option. I don't think it will happen. I don't think it's likely. I think it's, very unlikely actually, but it's not impossible. They can still do it. I don't know about trading for a guy like Micah Parsons or Trey Hendrickson or, going and trading for Michael May. I don't know. I don't think the Saints are in the market for trading for a guy like Trayvon Walker either. I mean, there are options, but we'll have to see what happens. So, again, they could save now, spend later. What I think that they should do is this. Save the money now. If you have money to spend in the regular season, let's say you approach the trade deadline, you're 6-2. I'm not saying they will be that, but hypothetically, what if you are? You can be active at the trade deadline and go and get a piece that can get you on top of the division and into the playoffs and into the hunt for making some noise in the postseason. But if you don't do that, guess what? You didn't spend money, and you can just roll that over to next year. So either way, if you save the money now, you can still spend it later in honestly probably a smarter fashion. So, I will just throw that 2 cents out there. I think it makes more sense to save now, spend later, but I also don't blame you if you want to be aggressive and go sign guys like Asante Samuel or Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, or any of those guys. I don't blame you for wanting to get active whatsoever. Now, I will tell you this. I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for watching Saints Now. Don't forget to subscribe before you hop on out of this video. We got a couple awesome videos that are going to be recommended during the end screen of the show. So check it out if you like this content. I'm sure you'll like the other stuff. Y'all stay golden. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Alrighty, mailbag coming up. Mailbag, we got a mailbag. Andre loves the Tushy advertisements. I love doing the Tushy ads. They're really fun. I use my Tushy every single day, twice a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. Yeah, there's double of me.
Oh, shit.
Look, I have 2 hands. Booyah. Bryce Huff ain't good. Bryce Huff blows. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Bryce Huff. Trade Taysom to Denver for the 5th round pick from B Jammin. B Jammin, if you use hashtag Saints and
talk
put that
about
comment
it.
in there. We'll talk about it. Lopez, honestly, would you want to go 2-cam for this mailbag? And you can just chop it up with me?
I'm in.
Okay, cool. Let's start it off with me, and then just if every couple questions, if you want to, do not this one, but the 2-box in GFX1.
Yes.
Just set that to Trizzy. Or wait, hold on. Scroll down. There's a Saints 2-cam.
A Saints 2-cam?
Yeah.
I might have to import that because.
No. It's changing like the chroma. It's like changing the chroma. So click into the graphic and then scroll down like you're changing the background color. Because there'll be like a 2 cams like after the NFL and the NBA.
Yeah, I see it.
Boom, there it is. And then you can just put like in the name badge. You can put Lopez and Trizzy. Just put Lopez and Trizzy Trace or Nick whatever you want to put for you. Nick Lopez, whatever. Alrighty.
Can't be Dark Smitty on here.
That's funny, man. Saints did waive Cameron Peterson, the defensive tackle. Roster news.
Who?
Yep, exactly. They waived the guy. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Just start off with me for like the first 1 or 2, and then you can pop yourself in. On any questions you want. Just remember to mute your mic when you go back off screen.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Coolio.
I'm gonna organize all these right now, and then we can see how many questions we got.
Alrighty, guys. If you have questions, hot takes, draft ideas, trade ideas, if you just want to ask me about my personal life, #Saints or super chat. If you do send in a super chat, you actually skip the line, and we show a little extra love. We spend a little extra time on your question. We have a couple super chats that we're going to bring up, including one from No Love Matt as well as Duke. So we're going to be talking about their questions. What should the Saints do with their $30 million? Would you draft Tet? We also got Mikey Taylor sending a $5 super chat, so appreciate you, brother. Thank you for doing that.
I will pull that up in a second. I need to get the new link.
You're good. Courtney says the Saints need to have Taysom Hill, Tyler Warren, and Shaheed run some speed option type plays. That would be electric. A little triple option too would be so fun.
That could break the league.
Triple option with Tyler Warren, Taysom Hill, and Rashid Shaheed would be ridiculous.
That would just be a fun offense. Like
you could win 3 games, but that would be so fun to watch. Have Alvin Kamara run the Wildcat out of that too. Shit, man, that'd be fun.
Sign me up for it. I'm in,
man. I'm just tired of Derek Carr. I'm tired of this boring brand of football. Just give me something fun. Give me something to root for. Like at least when Jameis was around, it was easy to root for Jameis. He at least made watching the games
I still root
fun.
for Jameis.
I do too. I don't care what team he's on. Unless he goes to the Falcons, I will always root for Jameis.
I don't know. I feel like
I'd still root for Jameis.
I'd be like, oh, you know what? Fuck the Falcons.
But I'd want
goddamn
Jameis. I want Jameis to throw for 300 yards every game except for them, but I want him to lose.
Yeah.
Like, I want Jameis to still show he's got it, but I want
Jameis to do his work, but then the Falcons suck.
That's so great.
Okay,
Where's Winston now? He is a free agent. He has not signed anywhere. There's chatter about maybe the Steelers, maybe the Giants, maybe the Browns. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Is nobody using? Oh, I'm a fucking idiot.
Did you forget to put them in?
I forgot to put the link in. I put the hashtags in. The link has not been.
That's so funny.
I was about to say, like, we got nothing.
Derek Carr has not been cut yet. No, he has not been cut.
Counting down the days.
It's facts. Tyler Warren is not going to change this offense. We need a game changer. Tyler Warren, by the definition, is a game changer. So Tyler Warren would change the game for the Saints.
He is wittily a game changer.
He is wittily a game changer. He's wittily. Tyler Warren is wittily a game changer. Dalton Smith, he left the Giants without a deal. Yes, he did. Carr needs to be cut, period. No excuses from Jerry G. Well, he got $30 million. Don't cut Carr. He needs to be Dalton wants Carr arrested, not cut. B. Jammin says Tyler Warren is a game changer. While we're getting ready for our mailbag, I'll tell you guys right now, tonight I'm going to be on the State of the Saint podcast with TJ Jones. It's going to be really, really fun. We're going to talk some ball. Just going to talk about, ourselves, about our fandom of the Saints. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm really, really excited. Him and I have been chopping it up. I really respect him as a content creator. I'm a big fan of what he does, and I'm excited to get to collab with him and chop it up. So if you guys want to support me, you want to support him, it would really mean the world if you go check that out tonight. I'm filming with him at 7. I'm not sure when it will be available, but we're filming tonight, 7 Central. So we'll see.
Okay. I think we need to get a couple more questions in. We have 3.
Jeremy just said he's not a game changer. Las Vegas drafted Brock Bowers and was on a bad team. And he had over 1,000 yards. Brock Bowers single-handedly won multiple games for the Raiders.
Like, if you break down the word, he changed multiple games. Many games were changed.
He's like the best rookie tight end ever.
Yeah.
That is literally changing the game.
He has an argument for
I don't understand where this hate of tight ends is coming from. Tight ends are awesome.
He has an argument for top 5 just receiving
tight ends in general. Yeah, already.
Rookie season.
I'm going to actually pull it up. I want to pull up tight end receiving leaders 2024. Alrighty.
I think he led because I think he was yeah.
The number 1 receiving tight end in the National Football League was Brock Bowers with 1,194 yards and 5 touchdowns. Yeah, I don't want to hear shit about Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren, not game changers, not worth it. I don't want to hear that ever again. That is just so stupid. Not calling you stupid. I'm calling that take stupid.
Is not very intelligent.
Would you trade Haener for a 7th-round pick? It's a great question, Courtney. Yes.
I would trade Haener for a bag of Sun Chips.
I would trade it.
Like the orange bag?
Trade him.
I'm in.
Garden salsa, maybe?
I was never a big garden salsa guy.
Not a big fan of that one?
Yeah.
I always wish that one was a little bit spicier, but, be like that.
A little spice could change it, I think.
Yeah,
could
add a little bit of kick.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the mailbag.
It's that time of the day.
It's that time of the day. We're just chopping it up, talking ball, having a good time. We're going to dive into the mailbag. If you have questions during the show, use hashtag Saints. Better yet, send in a super chat. We'll get it on the show. And, yeah, if you guys have questions, I'm going to be answering them. Lopez will be answering them. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk ball, and it's going to be a great old time. Saints fans, mailbag coming your way. Get them on the show. Who Dat Nation. Let's party.
Oh, where the fuck did my L3 go?
You good? Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
L3's just moved.
You're good.
The
No
one
Love Matt
L3.
said anything but hammer, or anything for Haener.
I wouldn't say anything.
I would say anything.
There's like a couple.
I would have taken a 1st-round pick for him. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's break it down. Saints mailbag coming at you. What's going on, Who Dat Nation? Welcome into our live Q&A. We film this as a part of our weekly Wednesday live shows. We go live every Wednesday around 4:30 Central Time, so subscribe and turn on your noties. And if you guys have questions in between these videos or in between the content, I also post a lot on my social medias. I've been trying to up my social media game so you can support your boy and you can hit me up on any of the following platforms: X, IG, or TikTok. I'm active on all 3 of them. Hit your boy up. I'm trying to get to 2,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know what the problem is. I've been having a hard time growing my IG, so help your boy out. The links are in the comments and description of this show. Again, if I miss your question or if you have a question and you weren't a part of the live show, feel free to DM me. I'll love to chop it up with you guys. We're going to start things off with Duke, actually. I like this question. We're going to start off here, Lopez. What should we do with our $30 million in cap space? So in case you guys didn't know, the New Orleans Saints have over $30 million to spend. They are 15th in the National Football League when it comes to available cap space. What I would like the Saints to do is save it and then spend it. So what I mean is don't go and add any splashy free agents now. Don't go sign Keenan Allen yet. Don't go, or I mean you can, but sign them to respectable, fair contracts that's not going to overspend. Asante Samuel, I like that as an option. Tevin Jenkins is out there as well if you want to guard. Those are all options. But you could also save that money and have it roll over to next year, or you could have it available at, God forbid, the trade deadline. You're 6-2 and you want to go make a splash trade. Maybe you do that. You'll have money to spend. I think it makes more sense to save it right now and then spend it later / let it roll over to next season. No Love Matt. Also, plus then you can make the Derek Carr cap hit when you inevitably move off of him a little bit easier. Would you draft Tet, Will Johnson, or Ginty if all available? And would you sign Asante Samuel now? I'm going to bring in my boy Nick Lopez, my producer, my main man, my homie, the guy riding shotgun on the show. Lopez, I want you to start off first. Would you sign Asante Samuel?
I would say I would sign Asante Samuel right now. I think he's a very low risk. I can't say high reward, but
low risk, medium reward.
Yeah, he can bring something back to the Secondary, I know they're kind of struggling right now.
And also the familiarity with Brandon Staley is nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it makes some sense. So, yeah, I'd be down to sign Asante Samuel Jr. right now. But Tet, Will Johnson, Ashton Genty, who are you taking?
My heart wants Ashton Genty. My head is saying Ashton Genty will not be there at 9.
Yeah.
I am sold Ashton Genty will be a Raider
I am too.
very, very quickly in the NFL draft. If he's not on the board, who are my other options?
Will
Tet or
Johnson
Will
or
Johnson?
Tet, yeah.
I think I would have to go Will Johnson, kind of what we were just talking about, Asante Samuel, strengthen that secondary a little bit more. And Tet, I think he is the #1 receiver in this draft. I'm not the highest on Tet McMillan still.
That's fair. That's fair.
So-
See, I would go Tet McMillan, but I will also play devil's advocate here. If you do go Will Johnson, think about the trio of Will Johnson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and Alontae Taylor. You have a really nice young cornerback group, all invested in the second or first round. Kool-Aid and Alontae were second-round picks. Will Johnson would be a first-round pick. That's good players at really, important positions that are young and cheap, and you can develop those guys hopefully over the long term.
And say what you want about Brandon Staley. He wasn't great in Los Angeles as a head coach, but that dude knows how to run a defense.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same thing.
He knows a defense.
I think it's very similar to the Dennis Allen conversation. Hell of a coordinator, not much of a head coach. I think that's totally fair to say. That's just my personal opinion. All right, let's get to the next question. Appreciate your super chat. No love, Matt. Thank you for your $5 donation. If you do send in a super chat or a super thanks, we'll get it on the show. We'll spend a little extra time and break it down a little longer. And it skips the line when it comes to our mailbags. All righty, Clown Goodell. Yeah, this guy stinks. Jags might trade Trayvon Walker. So I will say this. I have seen that chatter on Twitter. I don't know how much I believe it, but I'll tell you what. If Trayvon Walker's available, I'm interested in making a call.
I would trade for him in a heartbeat if I were the Saints.
I would too.
A young pass rusher.
Yeah.
It's the Chase Young argument. A young pass rusher, mid to early 20s. I'll take a flyer on it.
Yeah, I mean the fact that this past season, he's coming off a year when he had 10.5 sacks. He had 10 sacks in 2023. He had 61 total tackles, 13 for loss, 15 quarterback hits. I mean, this 2 forced fumbles, that's a guy who's going to change your defense. And I think that he could do some really good things in Brandon Staley's system, especially working with Bo Davis. Could be a nice little move, if you ask me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Great move.
Would y'all trade for Trayvon Walker? I think I would. It would be probably – you'd have to probably give some good capital up, but I'd be all in on trading for Trayvon Walker. All righty, next question. I want to ask you. We're going to ask you a question. I've been talking a lot. We've been talking for about 5 minutes now. I want you to get in the comment section, Saints fans. Who's a player you would trade for? Not a player you would sign in for agency, not a player you would draft. Who's a player you would trade for? If you get crazy, if you had some fun with it, that's even more better. Yeah, that's great. That's great stuff there, Trez. Way to go there. Yeah, I'm just spitting facts over here. Name a player you want the Saints to go and trade for. It can be a dream target, be unrealistic. I don't really care. Just have some fun with it. My dream, go get me Joe Burrow. That'd be so sick. That'd be so cool, dude. It would be a generational feeding families in the great state of Louisiana. Kyron, would you sign more players in free agency or get more players in the draft? I'm focusing on the draft if I'm the Saints. You have a total of now 9 selections. The Saints got an extra comp pick in the 7th round. So I'm in the camp of you have 6 picks in the top 150. You have 4 picks in the top 100. You got to go and add talent in those top 4 rounds. Those are really, really good draft picks where you can add some high-level players. So I would say go add in the draft to build for the future, but also sign some veterans to kind of fill out the roster and be nice depth pieces like Isaac Yiadom. I think that was a great addition, an underrated signing, very cheap contract, and it's a low-risk, high-reward player. Tony Romo. Is this the real Tony? Oh, boy. I don't know, Jim. I don't know, Jim. If you were to draft Jaxson Dart, what pick would you draft him? Man. Round 2, I like at 40. I'd like Jaxson Dart at 40. I'm not in the camp of draft him in round 1. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Mel Kiper had the Saints taking him at number 9 overall. I think that's very, very early. But I will tell you this, if that's Kellen Moore's guy, then nothing's going to stop him from going to get him. So, Jahmyr Gibbs a couple years ago was the guy for the Lions. None of us are laughing at that anymore. We all think that's a great selection. All righty, no love, Matt. Milton for a 4th. Lopez.
No. Simply no.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Like, I never understood the hype. I know he had a couple of good performances in New England.
Dude, he's got a cannon, bro. He's got a cannon.
Zach Wilson, cannon. How's that? Just saying. Just because you can throw the ball really far doesn't make you an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I'll also say this. I would be interested for a 6th or 7th.
Like 6th or 7th, I could
Fine.
talk myself into that.
Fine.
No way.
I'm not. He was what? He was an undrafted free or 6th round pick. He was a late round pick.
Yeah.
I'm not trading a 4th for a 6th round pick that has one game started, or he didn't even start. He basically started. Drake May played the first series of the game, but I mean, I'll give him credit. He looked better than he did in college. That's great and all, but like, not trading a
The Bills
4th.
weren't playing for anything either. It was the Bills' backups, basically.
Yeah, I'm trading a 6th or 7th for sure. I will entertain that. Not a 4th. And the asking price right now, from what I understand, is a 3rd.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I don't
not.
know what the Patriots think they have over there, but
Absolutely.
I'm not buying that.
Absolutely not.
there.
Coach Prime, what's going on, Coach? Can we? All right. Coach wants his kid to stay in the black and gold. I'll tell you what. I don't know, man. The more and more I get close to the draft and the more and more I think about it, I don't know if I want Shedeur at 9. But it goes back to the conversation, is that Kellen Moore's guy? If it is, they're going to probably take him. But I just feel like you got to add an offensive weapon in round 1, or add a top-tier cornerback, or add a great edge rusher, somebody on the defensive line maybe. And then in round 2, address the opposite side of the ball. Like, in my perfect draft, I think, hear me out, Lopez.
I'm listening.
Round 1 is a weapon. A Tyler Warren, an Ashton Genty, a Tet McMillan, something like that. Round 2, you go get yourself a cornerback or an edge rusher. Round 3, you have 2 picks in there. Have fun. I don't
Whatever
care.
you want.
I don't care. Whatever you want. Go get Cam Scatteraboo. Go get. I don't care. Go get. If you didn't get a tight end, go get Harold Fannin or Mason Taylor. Go get. I just think that Shedeur at 9 is a fine selection. I just am really in the camp of the Saints are trying to win now. Give them a piece that's going to help them win, and give them a piece that they can build, or that they can build their future quarterback around. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm not saying you have to mold your offense or the entire offense around the wide receiver and the weapons, but like, if you, let's say it's Spencer Rattler, let's say it's Jaxson Dart, let's say it's a guy in a draft next year. Like, you already have all the weapons there, you have the pieces. It just makes his life so much easier as a rookie or as a young player when he does have to start. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and we talked about this before. If you're going to go quarterback at 9, if it's not Cam Ward, I'm also not super high on Cam Ward, but he's the only quarterback in this draft that I am taking at 9. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, I could make the argument 2nd round or later.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Like, I have no interest in going quarterback in round 1 unless it's like Cam Ward, to be totally honest. Round 2, round 3, I'm willing to have a conversation.
That's when I can start talking myself into it.
That's when I can be like, all right, at least we got a good selection in round 1. He had a top 10 pick. We used it on something smart. I can get behind, let's go and get a quarterback. Yeah. I think that's fine. What would you guys do? Lopez and I just had a good conversation about it. Would you draft Shedeur in round 1? Type draft or pass down in the comments section. And really quick, we're going to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor. And it's actually not a sponsor. It's the greatest thing in the whole wide world. It's Saints jerseys. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. Use the link in the comments. Use the link in the description. It's available in both of those spots for you. If you need to get yourself a new jersey, if you're in college, Darty season's right around the corner. If you're not in college and you're a grown-up, hey, I know you need some new gear to watch party or to wear at watch party. So if you need to send this link to your mom or dad, send it. It's available for copy and paste in the comments and description. If you want to buy yourself, just click the link. You also can navigate the website on Fanatics to get yourself a hat, a t-shirt, something like that. I know jerseys can be expensive, but if you even click on this link, navigate the website and buy something, it supports the show. So help your boy out. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. Get yourself swagged out. Be jamming. Trade Taysom to the Broncos for a 5th round pick. Look, I know Taysom Hill is going to be a big part of Kellen Moore's offense. Kellen Moore has already said he's very excited to work with Taysom Hill, and I do think that he is a player that the Saints should explore keeping around. He isn't going to be available early in the season. I'll tell you that right now. But if you make him a post-June 1 trade, you only save $277,000 with a dead cap hit of $17.7 million. But if you wait till after June 1st, you save $10 million, but you have $7.9 million cap hit or dead cap hit in 26, and a $9.7 million cap hit in 27 or 25 and 26. A lot of numbers. Point being, financially, it doesn't make sense for the Saints to trade Taysom Hill. I think what they'll end up doing is actually having him take a pay cut. I think he can still be an effective player. The recovery from his injury, from what I understand, is going very, very well. So he should be able to return to full form at some point. When will that be? Probably not until the second half of the season. But, I mean, if you can get a fifth, sure. But it doesn't financially make any sense for the Saints to do it. Kevin, you draft Mason Taylor at 71. Depending on the other picks, yeah, I could get down with this. I definitely could get down with this. Lopez, my producer here, he is a graduate and an alum of the great Louisiana State University. You want to give your take on this, brother?
Putting bias aside,
Yep.
Mason Taylor gave us some great memories. Thank you for helping us beat Alabama a couple years ago. But I do think adding someone like Mason Taylor, if you're not going to go after a Tyler Warren early in the first round, I think he would be able to add that versatility. Maybe not as much as you're looking for with Tyler Warren, but he showed in college. He's a great pass catcher. He was physical when run blocking. Mm-hmm. I think he would add that versatility. Like I said, not as much as Tyler Warren, but
yeah,
he would fit into a modern-day tight end of a big body receiver, basically.
Well, and I also think he had a good showing at the combine.
Oh, he popped off at the combine.
He popped off. Like, his gauntlet drill was super impressive. He ran damn near a perfect straight line. And on top of that, he also tested really well. I'm a big fan of what he did at LSU. I think he's a great all-around tight end. And at 71, for sure, that's pretty good value there. And on top of that, you also have another third-round pick. You also have 2 fourth-round picks. So you definitely have options there for the tight end. There's a lot of good options. Colston Loveland, Harold Fannin, obviously Tyler Warren. I'm trying to think I'm missing some. Gunnar Helm, that's another one out of Texas. So, like, there's options, but I really do like Mason Taylor at 71. Boosie, they call me badass. What's going on? Eagles are open to trading Dallas Goedert. Would you do it? Yes, I would. I would. Dallas Goedert is a phenomenal receiving tight end, and there's the clear familiarity between him and Kellen Moore. Time in Philadelphia. He has 1 year left of his contract. You could trade for him and extend him, lower that cap hit, make something happen here. Andrew Schultz, he had the report originally. Goddard is in the final year of his deal. Bryce Huff, he also mentioned, I have no interest in that, so don't even think about it. But I do like the idea of Dallas Goedert. He's a productive player. He's a guy who is reliable when he's on the field. He gashed the Saints. If y'all remember in week 3, he was the one who put the dagger in New Orleans with that long reception late in the game to set up the Saints, or to set up the lead for the Eagles. So, look, I think that it would be a great option. I think he's a great tight end. He would elevate the overall talent level of the offense. So I'm all in on trading for Dallas Goedert. That's the idea that I would definitely be willing to explore. And honestly, I don't feel like you'd have to give up anything too wild. Like, give up one of those 4th-round picks. I feel like that's not terrible. Give up one. Yeah. Give up the later of the 4th-round picks. I think that's fair. Just don't get fleeced by Howie Roseman. Saints have a bad history of doing that. They have a very bad history of that. Jaden, Trains, I will ask you this question. Do you think Mike Thomas will ever play football again, yes or no? I think no. What do you think? Yeah, so there's that. He is not proven to be able to stay healthy since, 2018? That doesn't bode well for him. If the Saints move on from Derek Carr and he signs a very cheap contract, I think that's the only way he returns to the NFL. I don't think any other team is going to sign Michael Thomas. I mean, if you weren't going to sign him last year, why would you sign him this year? So we'll have to see. Another one from Jaden. Would you draft Shedeur Sanders, yes or no? I would not. Do you think F the Falcons and the Falcons fans? First of all, I agree with you. F the Falcons. I would, but not at 9. Kind of goes back to take earlier. I'd be willing to do it, just not at 9 overall. I just want to add a weapon. And I know that Shedeur Sanders is an offensive player, and he's a skill position player and all that, but I want to add somebody to benefit the roster long-term, that also benefits the roster this year, that helps them win now, but also can help them win in the future. So we'll have to see. It's not that Shedeur can't do that. I think that Tet, Tyler Warren, Ashton Jeanty, Will Johnson, I think any of those are, Jahdae Barrett, I think any of those are better picks. So we'll have to see what happens. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We had a lot of fun. Had Lopez join the show with me. So first of all, Appreciate you, Nick Lopez. We go live every Wednesday. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. For me, for my guy Lopez, y'all stay golden. We will see y'all next time. Boom. Would you draft Shador in round 1? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Did we show Mikey Taylor's super chat, by the way?
His was not a question. I can pop it up right now, though.
Cool.
It was just,
yeah.
Trace, did I miss anything?
Yeah. Pop that one up real fast for me.
Yeah.
So we can just at least let him know what's happening. All righty, Mikey. What's good, brother? What up? I just got home. What did you miss? So the content that you missed, it's going to go out on the channel right after we sign off live. The first one was the Saints have $30 million in cap space. How did they get to there, and how are they going to spend it now? Those are all things we're going to discuss in that video. We went through the Mel Kiper, Daniel Jeremiah mock drafts, and then the mailbag. So, yeah, there you go. That's
pretty solid show.
That's it. It's a pretty damn good show. Yeah. A lot of fun content for you. We'll do a 2-minute shot clock. If we get any super chats, the next 2 minutes we'll stay live. Otherwise, I'm going to get off. I'm going to go home, get prepared for my interview with TJ Jones on the Straight Up Saints podcast, and we'll have some fun. So, got more ball to talk, but want to, definitely show some love to the guys who support and the ladies who support as well. What do you think about giving Trey White a look? No love, Matt. Is it on YouTube? I don't know when it'll be on YouTube, but yes, we will be interviewing. It'll be a video podcast on YouTube.
Trey White kind of washed.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's done. He had too many injuries.
Yeah.
Hard to bounce back.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of what's his name? Not Devin White. Devin White. I've seen a couple people do that. I'm like, dude, he's been washed.
Yeah.
He's been burnt toast. Like,
is Devin White out of the league, or is he like on a team right now? Or is he rotting on a bench?
Let's see what he's doing. I know that he signed somewhere. Like, he's on the Texans.
Oh, I do kind of remember hearing that story because he is from Houston.
He's on the Texans. He was born in Spring Hill.
I don't know where that is.
Louisiana.
Probably bumfuck up north Louisiana. Basically Arkansas.
Basically.
Like everything past Baton Rouge is the places that don't matter. Like after Baton Rouge, just stop.
That's so funny. Jaden wants us to tell us a funny joke.
Have you heard the one about the depressed frog?
No.
He ended up committing suicide.
Oh, dear God. All right, there's your joke, Jaden. There's your joke. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap this show up. That is crazy. Yeah, Mont Dog, I'll see you over there at the Straight Up Saints podcast. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk ball and stuff. Trying to think of a good joke.
Why did the Hispanic man...
No.
It was a good one. Why did the Hispanic man push his wife off the roof?
Why?
Tequila.
Oh, dear God. That is electric. All righty, Queen Courtney, $2 super chat. We'll stay live a little bit longer. Dude. That's so funny. I have a not a great one, but a Falcons one.
Okay.
I called my buddy who's a Falcons fan. He didn't answer because his phone was on Atlanta Falcons mode. No ring.
I get it.
Yep. How many Falcons does it take to win a Super Bowl? 283.
Still trying to figure it out.
283.
Trying to rack my brain for all my jokes.
Why can't Matt Ryan use the phone anymore?
Because he's old.
He can't find the receiver.
Not wrong.
What's the difference between the Falcons and cigarettes? Drew Brees doesn't smoke cigarettes. Smokes that Falcons pack though.
That we know of. Drew Brees might be just down in 2 packs a day. That would be kind of funny.
What do the Falcons in Chick-fil-A have in common? They don't show up on Sundays.
I was putting that one together. Big brain over here.
Yep, that's a good one. Trying to see if there's any other good ones on this website.
I can't tell you all my jokes. We are.
Yeah, if we
online.
say all of the jokes, then we'll run out of jokes, and we won't have jokes
we're-
for next time.
We're online.
Yeah, we're
can't
also
say some of
live.
them.
Yeah.
There's some we can't pull some of those out yet. We haven't had enough. We haven't shotgun enough beers.
That's so good. Queen Courtney, $2 super chat. If you could just pop hers up just to show us some love.
so
You're all
true.
good. Would Sanders be distracted in New Orleans like the Ball brothers were in the NBA? I don't think Shador would be a distraction. I think he'd bring a lot of media attention, and maybe the media attention would be a distraction, not necessarily Shador. But with that being said, I also think it's worth discussing. Do you the locker room is already going to be probably a little bit tense with Derek Carr in there? I mean, it's no mystery he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah, it has been
Fans don't want him
reported
around.
very much.
Do what?
It has been very much reported.
Yeah. It's very clearly he does not want to be around. So, if you have Spencer Rattler, Shador Sanders, and Derek Carr in a locker room, that's going to be very competitive, which is good. But I don't think Derek would like that.
Think about it real quick though. Are the Sanders the balls of the NFL? Because think
I
about
don't
it.
think so, to be honest.
One of them is going to be really successful. Shador. That could be, let's say, LaMelo.
Yeah.
Shiloh, he can be like Jello. Not very successful, maybe turn into a rapper.
Sure.
And LeVar Ball just lost a foot or a leg. Dion almost lost a foot.
The parallels are there.
We're getting really close.
The parallels
we're
are
getting
there.
close.
The parallels are there. That is.
Or wait,
That is
no,
wild.
he has 3 sons, and one of them's like a video producer at Colorado. I guess he could be Jello, and I guess Shiloh could be like Alonzo.
Yeah. Queen Courtney wants me to send her the Atlanta Falcons jokes. Okay, here you go. Here we go. What's a Falcons fan's favorite type of soup? Chili, because it's always a little too hot to handle. Atlanta Falcons games are like a roller coaster. You never know if you're going to go up or down. Usually both.
I thought it's just straight down.
Yeah, it's just straight down. This libsite has some bad. It doesn't have a couple good ones. Let's see here. Yeah, these ones are bad. Let me go to the other one. Alrighty, Queen Courtney, I'll email this to you. I will email it to you. I'll email it to you, send it to you whenever we get off live, but I'll pull up my email now so I
Let
don't
me see.
forget.
For some reason, I might have any jokes saved.
You have some.
Let me
now?
see. Let me see. I might. Or at least something like sparks a joke in my head.
Thank you so much for Courtney. I just saw your email. I really appreciate your understanding. I promise you, I'm gonna get you that polo there if you'd like me to. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make it right. I'm going to make this right. I promise. But we're gonna get it to you. I'm gonna send you that. I'm gonna get you that link right now. Awesome. All right.
Mikey Taylor also had a little question for us.
What's up,
too.
Mikey?
Said, what are we missing from Jaxson Dart that has him high on the new mock draft?
I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know.
I think it's just positional value.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And there's all this chatter of he keeps climbing the draft board so rapidly. And I'm like, but why?
Usually a rise like this is in college football season, oh, he's having a great season.
For
So
sure.
he's just skyrocketing up the boards. No, this is. Because, for most of the year, he was many were talking day 3 or late day 2.
Courtney, I just emailed you back. I just emailed you back. I just sent them to you. I sent you both links that I was looking at. So you can have those to share. Some of the jokes on the first link a little outdated. It had Matt Ryan in there. Just change it to Michael Penix. It said something about Sean Payton. Changed it to Kellen Moore. Still applies.
Yeah,
Still applies.
change the names.
Yeah.
Change them around.
Yeah, Mikey, I don't know. What are we missing in Jaxson Dart? I don't know, man. take him at 40. I can get behind that. Not at 9.
But like, will he be at 40? Is someone else drinking the Kool-Aid?
That's yeah, I know, dude. Well, and that kind of goes back to like, are other teams buying that hype? Are they buying that nonsense? Or and is Kellen Moore gonna be like, I'm not even gonna risk it. We're just going. We're just taking it. That's what I got. That's what I want. Like I mean, if your coach wants, if first year coach needs his quarterback, and if he wants his guy, I think that they're gonna go and get it. I don't have faith that Jaxson Dart at 9 is the right pick.
Hypothetical. Say the Raiders never traded for Geno Smith, and they're still in the quarterback hunt or whatever.
Yeah, Shador there at 6 for sure.
Well, no, like in this mock draft, would they have Jaxson Dart going to Vegas at 6?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because
Shador
was on the board.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Or are they just like, you know what, the Saints, they'll fuck it up.
Yeah. Linda Johnson says, Trace, please comment on the fact the Saints have not won a single game in 2 years without Carr. Well, Linda Johnson, context matters. We can't move the goalposts, and if we're going to make excuses for Carr in the sense of he is, you know, he has nothing to work with, and he has all these injuries, and he had all these play callers, well, got to make the same excuses and got to give the same love to all the other quarterbacks on the roster. Spencer Rattler at no point had a starting offensive line. At no point did he have he had one starting wide receiver available. The rest of the time, it was practice squad bodies, and he literally was meeting some of his wide receivers on that Monday night game for the first time. So the comment is, yes, that's true. Statistically, that's true. But we've also seen a lot of games that Derek Carr single-handedly lost. We've seen a lot of bad football from Derek Carr, and we got to stop pretending like he is the second coming of Jesus Christ because, quite frankly, he is the definition of aggressively average.
It was a fun offseason when we got him.
Yeah, it was cool when we got him. I was excited. For the record, I was excited because I was like, it's an upgrade over Andy Dalton. To be totally honest, I'd rather have fucking Andy Dalton for $15 million than Derek Carr for $50.
Andy Dalton still has great hair.
Like, yeah, at least
we can go for looks.
Yeah, like, I mean, I get Derek Carr has won some games for the Saints and they haven't won without him, but like, he's lost us a lot of games. He has the weirdest cult following I've ever seen. Like, I don't understand why some people have the dying love for an aggressively mid quarterback.
Like Justin Fields.
It's the weird cults of Justin Fields and Derek Carr, betwixt the two of them, it is so weird. Like, Derek Carr fans and Justin Fields fans are so convinced that those two players are the greatest thing to ever happen to football, and I don't get it because it's not true. It is just factually not true. I've seen people on Twitter and in my comment section try to argue with me that Derek Carr is better than Drew Brees or that Derek Carr is better than Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like, oh my God, what are you smoking? Send me your plug because I need some of that.
At that point,
I need some of that.
I would go on a block spree.
Like, I need some of that in my life if that's what we're doing. All righty, Andre, thoughts on Brady Cook?
Missouri quarterback.
No.
What are we thinking?
No, dude. Mizzou sucks.
Luther Burden was good.
Yeah, he was. I don't want. Out of principle, F Mizzou. 5-year quarterback. 62.6 completion percentage last year, less than 3,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had a regression from 2023 to 2024. It's not like he was playing bad football, but in terms of the production, it was a little bit of a regression nonetheless. Sure, in the 7th. Why not? Probably not, though. Probably not. All righty, we'll set another super chat. Or not a super chat. We'll set another shot clock. Defense is ranked 33rd out of 32 teams and lost more games than ... No one has ever said Sears Drew. Linda, you can't tell me what people have and haven't said when I literally have screenshots of it. That is 100% true. I have had people. I come with receipts. I have had people try to tell me that Derek Carr is better than Drew Brees and Derek Carr is better than Patrick Mahomes, which is insane. I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback or is a average quarterback. You can call him good if you want, but he's in a quarterback league when you have guys who are outperforming him every single week. He's getting outperformed by rookies. He's getting outperformed by second, third year guys. Like, what are we going to learn in year 12 that we haven't learned in the first 11 years? Derek Carr is who he is. Yeah. Is he great? No. Does he suck? No. Is he aggressively average? Yes. Is that okay? Absolutely. He's not paid to be he's not getting paid $100 million a year getting paid less than 50 now. It's honestly not even all that much money in terms of like the cap hits, and like everyone's like, oh, it's so much money. It's like, well, you look at the numbers, it's actually not that much. Derek Carr is not the worst quarterback to ever touch a football. He's by no means a great quarterback.
He hasn't even been the worst quarterback in Saints history. We'll give him that.
Yeah, he's the second. He's in the bottom half of like I would not put Derek Carr as a top 15 quarterback.
Oh no, I don't
think Derek Carr's a top 15 quarterback in the league.
If you call Derek Carr a good quarterback, that means in your eyes there's like 10 to 15 elite quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and that is just not true either.
Well, yeah, I just don't think Derek. Like, let's see.
Honestly, I think he'd be closer to in the 20s than 15.
I'd put him at like 17 or 18.
Yeah.
I'd put him at like right there. He's not 15. I would take Joe Burrow over him. I'd take Jared Goff over him. I'd take Baker over him without a doubt. I wouldn't take Sam Darnold over Derek Carr. I don't think Sam Darnold's that good. I think it was just in a great system. So I'll give you that one. Lamar, absolutely not. Patrick Mahomes, absolutely not. Aaron Rodgers, at this point in time, absolutely not still. Justin Herbert, absolutely not. Brock Purdy, I will take Derek Carr over Brock Purdy. Actually, the Purdy contract is nice.
I don't know if Derek Carr leads that 49ers team to a Super Bowl.
That's true. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does. I will say I'll take Derek Carr over Kyler Murray because F Kyler Murray. If I can pick you off, you're not that good. Bo Nix, rather have Bo Nix, just young and cheap. Matthew Stafford would 100% rather have him. Would 100% rather have Josh Allen. Would 100% rather have C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. Not Kirk Cousins. Jordan Love, maybe. Jalen Hurts, no. Tua, yeah, I'd rather have Carr than Tua. Russell Wilson, no. Bryce Young, no. Drake May, yes. So, I mean, what? I think we probably had him in like 19 or 20, 21 or something like that. Yeah, nothing against anybody in the chat. Derek Carr is who he is. You asked my opinion. You asked me to comment on it. If you don't like my comments, I don't know what to tell you. There are 20 other players that need to go.
Like, that's not wrong. The Saints roster isn't great.
Yeah, no, the Saints roster is not good. No, not at all.
We're not saying they're a quarterback away.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, he is also making average money. Like, it is an average quarterback making average money. That's my take. I've been saying that for months at this point. But he doesn't have mobility. He's not a modern quarterback. He just isn't. You can win passing in the you can win in the pocket, and you should be a great pocket passer, but you also need to have some mobility. To be totally honest, you have to be able to use your legs. I do think that there are other players who need to go, but I think Carr is one of those players who needs to go. Like, you're just not gonna have him be a great. He's not gonna. Derek Carr is not gonna win you a Super Bowl. The Saints don't have the roster to have Derek Carr win you a Super Bowl. Yeah, this is the final thing I'll say, because I think this kind of puts a bow on all of it from my point of view. Derek Carr does not elevate a roster. A roster elevates Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's okay. I don't think you need Derek Carr to be the best thing ever. But I also don't think that he's not the guy to elevate this team. This team needs to be better. The roster needs to improve. There needs to be more depth. The defense, God forbid, needs to get so much better. The offense needs more weapons. The offensive line has to perform better. The coaching needs to be better. Like, all of those things need to happen for Derek Carr to be great in the Saints. And that means all of those things have to happen in one offseason with a first-year coach. Just don't see that being the case.
No.
And it's no disrespect for Carr. I think that I think that he is who he is. I respect him as a human being. I respect him as a man. I think he's a great, like, human being. I think he's a great, like, leader of men in terms of being a man. In terms of business, it's a business decision. I'd rather move on from him. No one wants Carr running. We can definitely agree on that. Remember last time he tried to run? Yeah. He didn't play another snap.
I will say the 1 ounce of slack that I will give to Derek Carr, the Saints have not been healthy. They have been a horribly injured team.
When you lost Eric McCoy, like, to his credit, when Derek Carr has a great system around him and he doesn't have any pressure on him, he is lights out. Yeah. He is a great quarterback in that regard. But he also doesn't perform well when there's adversity. Yeah. And when shit hits the fan, he's not the guy who's going to turn it around. I think some of that is due to the lack of mobility. I think some of that is due to his age and just being around for so long and what his skill set is. But I also think that with Derek Carr, it's such a hard conversation to have because to be fair, too, like, I think what I will say and give credit to, like, the Derek Carr fans for at this point, he has never had a good situation. He's never had a great defense. He's barely had great weapons. Like, the Saints are probably the best situation he's been in And that's not saying much.
I think
They're actually that 1 year with the Raiders.
2016 Raiders, when he broke
2016
his
Raiders.
leg.
That was a really good one. He almost won MVP that year. I mean, he was on track.
If he didn't break his leg, he probably would have.
Yeah, like those are very, very true things. Like that, facts, 100%. But now he's starting to not stay healthy, and the rest of the Saints roster isn't staying healthy, and he's expensive, and you have cap issues. So it's just like, I don't hate Derek Carr. I don't hate the people who support Derek Carr. I'm just tired of people trying to pretend like he is the greatest thing to happen to football. Like, it is what it is. No disrespect to you, Linda. I have no disrespect to you whatsoever. I really appreciate you. Appreciate indulging on the discourse. That's what we call it, Chat Sports.
Yeah, we're here to talk.
Yeah, I'm not going to just sit here and talk at you. We're going to talk with you. So I appreciate you. All righty, we are going to sign off. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. I'm going to be going on the State of the Saints podcast with TJ Jones tonight, so go show him some love. Support us over there. We're going to be live next week, Wednesday, 4 Central Time. We actually went live a few minutes early today, so hit the sub button, turn on your noties. Y'all stay golden. For me, for Lopez, we will see you guys next time.